welcome to another exciting segment of True Talk with Debbyjazz. Today we have a wonderful, pretty, wonderful, sweet guest that is going to be doing justice to today's topic. She is a great woman of God. I mean great, she's great. She's going to be blessing us. She's going to be touching our lives in the area we'll be talking about today. Before I bring in my guests, let's go on a quick break, then we'll come back and I'll show you who this pretty guest is. Welcome. I know you can't wait to see who this guest is. Oh boy, where is he? Oh god. Okay, today we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Miss Mary Omebel. She's a graduate of Ebonyi State University. She studied medical laboratory science and she's the CEO of Zella Fragrance. In case you're looking for it, just call me. I'll tell you where it is. Please join me as I welcome my beautiful guest. You're welcome, Miss Mary. Oh,
thank you so much.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
I've been looking for you and finally I got to meet you. You know you're hot cake. Everybody wants you. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us on today's episode of True Talk with Debbyjazz. Today we'll be treating an important topic that's going to be a blessing to everyone. We actually started this topic last week, but you know we cannot just finish it in a day. So we'll still be talking on it today: peer pressure, low self-esteem. But today the topic we'll be dealing on will be how to handle all-round peer pressure and low self-esteem, and also how do we break out from it. Now today our focus will be on teenagers, because teenagers are really, should I say, they are really going through a lot when it comes to do with them having a low self-esteem and also mingling with people that are not really, you know, making them be who God wants them to be. So Ma, would want you to do justice to today's topic. First of all, I want you to help us define what peer pressure and low self-esteem is, because people, or maybe should I say viewers, a lot of them did watch last week and they would want to know what it is, what it means. So please just tell us what peer pressure is and low self-esteem. Don't mind me, I'm talking too fast.
Alright. Well, there's no problem. Thank you so much for having me,
You're
Debbie.
welcome,
It's a privilege to actually be here, and I'm
welcome.
honored.
Thank you.
Okay, so when we talk about peer pressure, especially coming to teenagers, you know, peer pressure is something that it's like a force that coerces you to do something or behave in a way or certain way where you would normally not behave, or something you would normally not do, but because of the external forces around you, the external authority, maybe friends and all, you tend to begin to act in such way. So that's peer pressure. That's just the definition of what peer pressure is. So as self-esteem, low self-esteem, your self-esteem is just how you see yourself, your self-worth, your self how you just completely feel around people, how you weigh yourself, how you, maybe you come to a particular area, the way you feel about yourself completely. So your self-concept is your self-esteem.
Okay.
So coming to teenagers now, like you said, there's really a lot, and honestly, it's like, you know, we're in phases, we grow, we've passed through that stage, and we knew these challenges. We wanted to fit into certain places, we wanted to fit into some kind of cliques, but then we found ourselves like, oh, withdrawing, because we didn't think that we were what those people, and you know, this self-esteem is like an inner struggle. It's not about your buff up, it's not about your looks, it's not about, it starts from within. So if it's something that you've not learned to deal with from within, what happens is that it begins to manifest outside you.
So thank you. Begins to manifest outside you. It's actually a problem. Even while growing up, like, I know there are things I wanted to do, but I couldn't do them because I was feeling like I was not up to some standards, some things I was not up to. So I was already looking down on myself. Thank God for God today. Like, we give God all the glory. So how do you think we can handle this all-round peer pressure and low self-esteem?
Okay, like before we go to how to handle it, first I
Okay.
want to talk about things that could actually cause
Cause it,
this
okay.
peer pressure and then low self-esteem.
Okay,
It
ma'am.
could come from your childhood.
Okay.
You know, growing up, most times we don't get, like, especially the background African, you know, family. Normally your parents, like, you know, lambast you with a lot of names, calling you names, and we don't know that those names that they call you have an impact.
Yeah.
Because we had, as in then growing up as a young child or even as a teenager right now, you could be in a place where your parents are always saying you are good for nothing, you will never do it. And this parent or this authority figure you have in your life is someone that you look up to. You want this person, you want to please this person with everything. You're studying, all you're doing is because you want to actually let this person approve you, validate you. But when you're not getting that validation from your parents, what happens to you is that you sink in. Sometimes it leads to depression.
Yeah.
Some of them they feel rejected. There's nothing anybody out there says that actually gets to them, that actually makes them feel well. Because when they come home, the person they are looking up to is not saying that. It's not telling them you are good, you are smart, you're intelligent, you can do this, you can, you know, that environment is not there. So that now begins to affect you growing up. As from childhood, actually getting to your teenage age, it has started. It's something like a seed that has been sown into your mind. So there's nothing, even when you want to push forth, that thing is like in your head, and you're like, oh God, how can I do this? My parents are like, okay, I'm good for nothing anyway. There's nothing, and there's no how I can be able to make it through this. So that's one of the causes. And then you now have, okay, let's say for the peer pressure, you now have friends around you, or maybe in your school, you're looking at people that they might even be having a very negative behavior. Those ones would be maybe like okay, let's say for now, having a boyfriend even in primary school is not, you know, it's like a normal thing. So if you don't have, you're like a Jew person. There are certain kind of behaviors right now that if you're not even, it's like a norm, it's like a normal thing, and when you're not doing it, you're trying to live right, you begin to look like someone that doesn't even know what's up. So as a young person growing up, those are a lot of challenges that you see, and you want to fit into those people, you want to become their friends, you want to fit into those cliques, but you're struggling with maintaining your values, maintaining, okay, this is what I know to be true, how can I stand by it? Okay, so but then what's like how to handle this right now? It's like, first of all, it starts from you.
Okay.
Defining yours, not even define. Okay, I always said this thing, like a fan knows or doesn't know how to function except the manufacturer tells it how to function, or because the manufacturer has defined this is what the product I'm making, this is the function, this is what this fan is supposed to do. So if you as the fan, now you're now the fan, and then you come and say, no, I want to be a fridge, you definitely struggle. This happens, you begin to compare yourself with the other person, you begin to try to fit in where you're supposed to stand out. So how to handle this all-round pressure? Number one is you have to identify self-identity, finding who you are, discover yourself. And how do you discover this? It's going to the manufacturer, going to his manual, knowing why you were created, knowing what you're created for. So once you go back there and you begin to ask questions, ask him questions. Don't ask, you might ask people and then you'll be faulted because somehow in your spirit he engraves that in you, and then you begin to find, okay, this is something that bothers me, this is me. And once you discover that, and then have your values, things that you know that, okay, these are my values, it's a no-go. Discovering your purpose helps you stand out, because if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you're here to do, everything that jumps in, everything you see becomes a distraction and becomes like something you need to pursue. But when you know where you're going, when you know your purpose, when you know who or the people you're called to reach, the things you're called to do, it helps you, sideline. You begin to cut off friends, you begin to cut off things, activities that don't help you in that direction. But by the time you've not discovered, you've not, sat down to ask God, what do you want me to do? Who do you want me to be? Look, I don't want to, just come here and exist, because that's what a lot of teenagers are doing, and they're struggling with it, trying to fit in, trying to exist, trying to just feel among. But then you're not created to feel among. You're an original. You're supposed to stand out. You're supposed to make a difference. All of us are one big. There's a project. Everyone has a function. Someone that's, let me say it's a movie shoot now. There's a cameraman, there's a lightman, there's the actor. You can't say leave your role as the actor and begin to take the lightman's role. No. So when you discover, you begin to perfect it. So the next stage is how to break out from this. The next stage is beginning to develop those things that God has put within you. Those inbuilt talents, those inbuilt giftings, you've discovered it now. Okay, how can I hone these skills? Who am I going to meet to help me? If you need a mentor, that's the moment you need to look for a mentor, someone to guide you. If you cannot even get a physical mentor, maybe a direct mentor, there are books, there are people tapes, there are people you maybe admire, role models, maybe they are distant. You can pick up their tapes, you can pick up their books, you can read, you can even reach them out. Thank God for social media. Many of us have social media, but what we do there is we follow celebrities. And the funny thing is that it's that these celebrities mentor our teenagers. You go there and you see that they want to look like this, and they look at their clothing, they look at their styling, and those people are being mentored by them. So knowingly or unknowingly, you're mentored by the movies you watch, you're mentored by the people you follow on social media. So once you discover who you are, who you want to be, who God has made you to be, what you do is that you begin to stream, okay, this is not what I need, this is who I need, this is who I need. It begins to, and as far as you have, you get that, bleeding, okay, this is who I want to be. Opportunities begin to pass, and you begin to say, this is what I want, this is who I want, and before you know it, God begins to send in those things that would help you build. And then the third one is beginning to function.
Okay.
You start doing those things. It starts from little. It starts from your little circle. One or two persons. It could be your family. What could you start making? Because we're all here to make everybody's life better. Some people around, make the world a better place. So if you're in your family and because of you there is peace, you are achieving something. Because of this person, there is joy in the house. Any person who come, try to find your niche. Don't try to be like everybody, because everyone, even our siblings, we're different.
Yeah.
You want to be okay. I want to be like, hey, these people, they love this person because of no. Find where you are and then love that place that God has called you to be and the kind of person God has called you, and begin to function. Begin to, even if it's very tiny, start doing it, and for God will be glorified through it.
Thank you, ma. Like, I'm really blessed. I'm blessed.
Thank you so much.
You just give us a word of advice now to our teenagers out there. Something to keep them going. Something to make them know that, yes, this is who they are. And nobody can stop them from who God wants them to actually be. So a word of advice now to
okay, to the young boy and the young girl out there, you are unique, you are different, you are the original, you are you. Not let nobody define you. Not even your parents can even define you, because everyone, God is our own Father, and He's the one that has created you and knows what He has put in you. So let no one define you. Let not those words that you've heard that has pushed you into rejection, depression, have a hold on you. Stand up and begin to, ask God. Go back to Him and ask Him, what do you want me to do? Who am I? And He begins to reveal, and in the place of prayer, He begins to reveal to you. He begins to show you those things. He's the one that has that final say. So once you're able to find it, His own word. See, your friends today could tell you you're beautiful. Tomorrow, what if they wake up and don't tell you you're beautiful? You dress and you're feeling, oh, this person has to appear. And the person does not notice you because the person is having a lot of issues in the mind. The person is going through that. The person does not even see you that day. What happens is that you're depressed. Oh, this person did not notice me. My dear, let your judgment or self-validation not come from people around or things around. Let it come from within and from your Father. Knowing who you are first would help you and then would guide you. I hope you have a lovely day. Thank
you. Thank you so much, ma'am. She has said everything. In short, I don't even have anything to say. All I'm going to say is thank you all for watching. God bless you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get more and more and more videos.